Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to talk about transforming your mind. Having a 360 holistic lifestyle where you control what you think, not necessarily control, where you filter what you think, you control what you eat, you control how you feel, and dominate your environment. See guys, it's all about having a 360 holistic perspective about the things that go in your mind, the things that go in your body, and the things that are in your environment. See, you may not be able to control all those things at one time, but little by little, you will be able to dominate your lifestyle, your environment, your eating habits, your mind, the psychosis that goes on in your mind will be yours. See, but you have to have a 360 holistic perspective in life. See, and you have to know that these things exist and are available to you. You have the key. You have the code. You have the secret to success in life. As a universal being on this earth, you can download the codes necessary to dominate in life. But you have to separate yourself from the world. You have to separate yourself from the lust of the world, from the gluttony of the world. See, and once you do those things, then you can, hold on guys, here we go guys. Then you can go from being a psychopath to creating a path that you've designed. You can go from being a psychopath to creating a path that you have designed. And you're going to go from the old you to the new you. And the change is going to be so drastic that most people will not recognize you. That's how you want it. You do not want people to recognize the old you, because they're going to always identify you as that person that was on drugs. They're going to always identify you as that person that went to jail. They're going to always identify you as that person that was irresponsible. They're going to always identify you as that person that was lazy. They're going to always identify you as that person that didn't want to have any accountability. See, they're going to always identify you with the old you. That's why the new you have to be so transformative. You have to go through a psychological metamorphosis. Sometimes you have to go through a physical metamorphosis to change who you are. Have you ever seen a person that was 400 pounds? Now they're 200 pounds. They look totally different. Because they dropped 200 pounds of physical luggage, trauma, low self-esteem, low self-worth, low confidence. They dropped all that 200 pounds of low self-esteem. They dropped it. Now they look totally different. You can do the same thing with your mind. You can drop 200 pounds of dislike, of disrespect, of hatred of yourself. 200 pounds of the programming telling you, instructing you, forcing you to participate in a dysfunctional system that's bad for your mental health. See guys, just because something works doesn't mean it's good for you. All it says is this is all that you know. See, something can be dysfunctional and work at the same time. But you don't know if it's dysfunctional or not, because you've never tried another program. You've never been in another environment where you saw how things work differently under different circumstances, under a different program, under a different frequency, under different vibrations. See, things operate differently in different environments. Things operate differently. You see, you have to be in the right environment in order for your higher self to flourish. You have to be in a different environment. See, guys, so they did an experiment. I think it was called the double slit experiment, where they took an organism or atom or whatever it was. They took it and they put it in an observation room, and they didn't observe it. And the atom or the whatever it was, it made one pattern. But then under observation, they made a different pattern. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna find the experiment. Hold on. Okay, here we go, guys. I found it. It's called quantum particles. Quantum particles can change their behavior when observed, a phenomenon known as the observer effect. The double slit experiment is a famous example of this effect, where physicists have found that observing quantum phenomenon with a detector or instrument can alter the results of the experiment. See, guys, so that's what I'm saying. It says, in the double slit experiment, photons travel through the slits one at a time if no one is watching. The photons appear to pass through both slits at once and interfere with themselves, resembling a wave. See? However, if an observer notices the path of the photons, it will pass through either slit without interference, behaving more like a particle. This is because the act of observation forces the electrons to behave like particles rather than waves. So that's what I'm saying. So when you are in a different environment, under a different system, under different observation, if you're observing yourself or something else, and you are in a different environment, you will behave differently, and the things that you're watching behaves differently. It's like a person being on camera. If a person knows that they're on camera, they're going to behave differently than if they wasn't on camera. See? So everybody knows that. So that's what I'm saying, guys. So that's why it's important to realize that you are in control. That you have to gain control of your environment, your mind, and what you consume physically and psychologically. 360 holistic approach to life. Okay, guys, I just want to show you that quick little video and show you how people can change. But the change have to be dramatic enough to force the person, the observer, to know that you are a different person. You can't come back smoking. You can't come back cursing. You can't come back being a promiscuous. You can't come back with a bad attitude. All those things have to disappear. You have to come back with love, responsibility, accountability, irrelevant of your financial success. Now, if that person cannot accept you without the materialism, then that's the wrong environment. Because most people will only respect you if you come back with a certain level of materialism. See, that's a toxic environment because it forces you to continue to participate in a dysfunctional manner, forcing you to have more of a materialistic approach to life than a holistic approach to life. See? But a lot of times, that's how people gauge whether you are doing better or worse. By the more stuff you have, by the more money you have. That's how they gauge whether you're doing better or worse. That's just it. They say, okay, if you have less stuff, if you're poor, you're doing worse because you have less stuff. You have less assets, less money. So you have to be doing worse as an individual. See? You see how dysfunctional that is? But you could be doing better as an individual. But they can't, but since your betterment is on a metaphysical, psychological, inner peace level, they can't vibrate with that because it's two different frequencies. See, they can when you operating on a different frequency, you can only respect and appreciate that what you see. So if they don't see money and materialism and all this stuff, that's when they say you're not doing better. You're the same or you're doing worse. See? So that's the way people are, guys. So that's why you have to be in an environment that respects you as a human being. Because the people that knew the old you, it's going to be very difficult for them to respect the new you. It's going to be and they may do it over a long period of time of you being consistently humble. You have to be consistently humble. You can't get into no arguments. You can't have too many opinions. You can't display any aggression, anger. You can't do anything. You got to be humble and meek the whole time, which is very difficult around abusive people. Because as soon as you express yourself, they're going to say, see, I see you haven't changed. You see, that's the old you right there. So you can't. It's hard to be around people. When you're in the middle of a transformation, it's hard to be around people because they're going to always go back to the old person that they knew. And if that old person they knew was either violent or abusive or smoked or did drugs or it was irresponsible, quit jobs, didn't have any money, was poor, homeless, whatever your situation was, the old you, that's all they know. And they're going to be stuck with that old you. So if you're trying to redevelop yourself into a new person in the old environment, it's almost impossible. It's almost impossible. So you not only have to change playmates, you got to change playgrounds also. It's hard to acquire new playmates on the old playground. It's just difficult. So not only do you have to change playmates, you have to also change playgrounds. You have to get out of that environment, guys. And sometimes you may not ever be able to go back to that old playground. Ever. Because your old playmates, they're going to still be waiting on you to come back. They're going to be waiting for you to come back. And if you come back as a centipede or as a caterpillar and not a butterfly, they're not going to treat you right. They're going to try to step on you. See, guys, and that's just the way it is. So remember, guys, that's it for this video, guys. I have another video that's similar to this one. I'm going to release it a little bit later. Anyway, guys, that's it for this video, guys. Remember, guys, keep your life clean. Keep your life clean. Keep your car clean. Keep your mind clean. Keep your diet clean. Keep your home clean, guys. Remember to drink plenty of spring water to flush out the toxins, the chemicals, and the poisons in the food supply. Because you are being poisoned, you're being micro-poisoned every day. And since you're operating in your unconscious state, you're also poisoning your children and your pets. Guys, remember to download and deploy your antivirus software. debug and unplug from the matrix. Guys, you have to unplug from the matrix in order to tap in to the universal knowledge. These downloads come all the time, but you have to be on the right frequency. You can't be on the FM frequency looking for the AM knowledge. Let me say it again. You cannot be on the FM frequency looking for the AM frequency knowledge. Those are two different frequencies. If you tune in at 99.5 and the knowledge is on 103.7, you're not going to tune in. It's just going to be a whole bunch of noise and static. That's real life science. That don't have anything to do with spirituality. That's real life science. On the spiritual level, it still applies because that's where it came from. All this knowledge, everything that we're doing, all of it came from the universe. What do you think? Where else could it come from? Where else do you think it came from? Where else do you think the apple tree and the orange tree and the banana tree and all the fruit trees, where do you think they get their knowledge from to know how to grow their fruit? Where do you think the oak tree and the sequoia tree and all the plants and the birds and the bees, where do you think they get their knowledge from? They didn't have a teacher. Nobody taught them. So they had to get the knowledge to pollinate the bees and hummingbirds. They had to get the knowledge to pollinate and grow and to bear fruit. They had to get it from somewhere. Because the apple tree don't have an apple teacher. The hummingbird don't have a hummingbird teacher. The bumblebee don't have a bee teacher. The ant don't have an ant teacher. The fox don't have a fox teacher. The coyote don't have a coyote teacher. They don't have a whole bunch of teachers running around here trying. You know how many teachers they would have to be? They have to be millions of teachers to teach each and every insect and species a different lifestyle. Come on now. So it had to come from the universe. The earth had to give up the information in order for the other millions of organisms that live on this earth to survive. We are latecomers, humans. It's organisms that been on this earth that's been surviving for 1 billion years. We latecomers. And all we want to do is kill each other. Okay, guys. So that's it for this video, guys. Until next time, guys. I'm Countryman777. I'm signing off. Now go and conquer yourself. Peace.